What if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything does. Not everything has to.
Welcome to the end of your life, and I promise it's going to hurt.
Time it is, it's Friday, 7 p.m. It is time for the Midwest Anime Show. Boy, we got a doozy of a show today. And we got a special guest appearance from the professor as well. Mr. Conspiracy still in his bathrobe, living life to the best, to the fullest. You said so. My co-host today. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope you like, subscribe, commented. We got a wonderful show going on. I'm about to actually hand this over to my man, Mr. Conspiracy, for our first segment. Was not, Mr. Conspiracy? What is up today, brother? What knowledge are you gonna bring to the world on the things that you know about in the world of anime and manga?
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So we'll go ahead and do a what's hot today. I really don't want to do a what's not. Let's go ahead and let y'all know about some things that y'all can read. And for this one, we're going to do something kind of interesting. It's going to be called My Dad is Too Strong. I like this because of the story of how they go about his journey into why he becomes so strong and what's taking place in the present and what's happening in the future. So just to give you an idea of what this manga is really about. So on regular Earth, modern time, during this time of peace, there was a rift that appeared on Earth, and this guy got sucked in. He's just your normal, average day citizen who's, I'm just going to just say it, he's at the bottom of the pole when it comes to status. So at this time, he's just a regular service worker when he gets pulled into the rift. During his time away from Earth, hunters start showing up everywhere to basically battle these rifts. And as you know, if you read a manga like that, when it comes to hunters being born, they become high status. You go from F to S class, and those are the people that make the money. They basically run things because no one is as powerful as them. So that's basically the actual setting. So our main character is, like I say, he's a regular civil servant. And what happens is that he finds himself in a Miriam Day, Japan, basically. And you think that he's just a regular guy. He's just scared, doesn't know what's truly happening because he's inside of this rift. Well, what he finds out is that he has a special ability, just like everyone else in this new world that he's in. And his special ability, it seems odd to him at the time, but he finds out his special ability is basically immortality. And he finds this out because he gets into a battle, he gets killed. He's able to come back and he remembers the exact time of what happened, and he remembers everything that happened up to that point. So he basically comes back a day before he dies, and he remembers everything up until that point. And he gains not only the knowledge, but the experience, techniques that he's learned, even the training up to that point. He keeps it all. It's almost like having a backup, right? And then he just saves, and then he restores at a certain point. So going from there, he spends, forgot what it is, DLC. I think it's 400 years or something like that, I want to say. It's a very long time in the rift. Mind you, only like 10 years pass, I believe. 5 or 10 years passes in his Earth time. But for him inside the rift, it's like 400 years passes. And so he has died like over hundreds and hundreds of times at this point. He has lived through so many wars, so many battles. He has trained among some of the greatest masters. He has learned some of the best techniques, methods. I'm talking from healing to spells to hand-to-hand combat. He has fought against dragons, goblins, all of the mythical creatures that you would read about in Norse god mythology, Greek mythology, things like that. And he basically became a demon lord.
You gotta call him. You gotta call him what his title. You gotta call him by his title, Mr. Conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? Which is an oxymoron, the heavenly demon.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know what it is about these manga stories about the title Heavenly Demon, which it's like if you become the Heavenly Demon, you like the G among G's. I just want to throw that out there because that's the title he obtained. I don't know it was about in Japan and becoming the Heavenly Demon. I don't know who comes up with this stuff. I don't make the rules for these crazy names, but the stuff get wild.
At the end, he basically becomes a legend of all legends, and he finally comes back to his Earth. It's like 5 or 10 years later. He has no idea what he's going to do. So he basically picks up where he left off, and he becomes a civil servant. And he actually learns about the world that he left behind and how to assimilate back into it. What makes this interesting, this is where the story gets truly interesting, is that he has no idea where he's going to live. He has no clue how he's going to learn how to assimilate into the world. He ends up saving this young girl's life. She looks like she's a teenager, but she's actually, I want to say she's a senior in high school.
Yeah.
And she,
you say it. Yeah.
No. She basically begs him to be his daughter. And there's for specific reasons to that. I want people to actually read it to get the reason why. But he's a softie and he says no. And so she begs, and then she makes him like a condition, like an ultimatum. Hey, if you do this, I will cook, clean for you. I will be your daughter that you never had. I'll be your family, and we only need to make a contract for so long. And he said, okay, cool. Well, then you can only live with me and be my daughter up until a certain point. I think is when she actually gets into a university, or when she passes either that or she passes the Hunter Academy's exam, and then he would leave. So it was like a month's time, and then he would leave. Well, turns out that he grew fond of her. He didn't have a family of his own. Everybody else is dead, and he truly starts feeling like a father. And it's like, well, it starts getting weird because she starts seeing him as her biological father, literally like after a week of living together, and he takes it so serious. He starts buying 50 books about how to be a dad, and he reads them all, and he just goes back to all the books, and he looks at a lot of different videos online just to be like the best and the greatest dad. And she doesn't even know that this guy is strong. Well, she is wanting to become a hunter, and that's why she wanted to go to university. She wanted to pass the hunter exam. She wants to become a hunter. So she shows him, hey, I can protect you. I'm going to become a hunter. Look. So one of her specialties is a pistol as a hunter. I think she was D rank with the possibility of S rank, no, A rank ability. Yeah. So she's a D rank with the possibility of an A rank status. And so for her, she thinks that she's protecting him every step of the way, and she worries about him constantly. So with his new job as a civil servant, he went back to his old job. But now with what they do is they are the rift managers. He works for a company that's of the government, but it's a risk management organization service. And so he's one of the agents. So his responsibility is when a rift comes, he goes with the hunters and they analyze the rift, try to see what monsters are there. They take down all of the details. They analyze the rift, like the environment, monsters, like the actual difficulty, and then they make up a summary and then they give it to all of the hunters guilds and things like that. Well, he's so powerful that he likes to just go in and he goes deep. He kills bosses, writes them down. Okay, yeah, when they all regenerate, yeah, this will work for them. And then he leaves. Well, no one really knows that he's more than just this regular citizen. And so I don't want to give too much away because it's such a good read. It's funny, but at the same time, there's so much action, so much battle, and I think that the storytelling is phenomenal. DOC, what you think?
If you want a piece of shonen, you know what I'm saying? Like a slow life, you know what I mean? To a degree, he gives you that. But as to your point, Mr. Conspiracy, I enjoy that you think it's going one way, he gonna have this easy life, and then because he's so powerful and the way he rolls through life, like him, it doesn't mean anything for this dude to go fight a dragon or a god or anything like that. And him, I mean, it's like if you took Saitama and you took Saitama and you put him with a couple of different other characters. That's what you get, because when he's fighting, he has zero emotion. He reminds me of Saitama in that way, because it's like, oh, you swing a big sword at me and he just stops it with one hand. Is that all you can do? Oh, okay. And then he starts taking his notes down to make sure that his other hunters can know, oh, okay, this guy's gonna swing like to your point. I mean, it's funny. I enjoy it. It's real. It's 150 plus chapters. Really good. I mean, it's a good manga. I mean, not manga. It's a manhwa. My apologies.
It's a manhwa. Sorry about that. Yeah, my apologies.
Yeah. So
actually, I mean, so DLC, I'm gonna say one more thing, man, before we go ahead and move on to the next segment. So for people who are still not, have bought into my summary, let me just put this last thing out there. Okay. He basically adopts two dragons that becomes the siblings of his daughter. And I'm gonna say this is, you know what? I'm not even gonna go put that other one out there. We're not gonna do that. They need to read it for that one, because that one you cannot explain, and we keep this channel. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. All right, good read. I mean, go check it out. Look, hey man, support the author, support the team that's behind it, man. Listen, I mean, go to their official site. Support these folks, man, because they putting their blood, sweat, and tears into it. So, I mean, please support them. I mean, especially the amount of hours they put in writing, drawing, and getting all of this stuff done. So, if you're a fan, please go pick it up, read it from their official channel, and give these folks some money, man. They're doing good work. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on to, you know what I'm saying, the round table today. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and get into it. So now this is gonna be a little different, because I mean we have so much material to choose from. So this one was kind of brought up last week. We were kind of talking about it offline, and so we wanted to talk about Sword Art Online. I mean, look, it's been out for a while. Really good anime, really good manga. Enjoyed it thoroughly through. If you are into, I guess, if you're not familiar, manhwas, they come in different genres. This is the I got isekai into a video game, kind of, sort of, except at least in season one, the video game you can die from. So, and let me give you the breakdown of what's going on here, so we can get into it a little bit more. So, your main character, his name is Kiragaya. That's his real name. But in the video games, he goes by Kirito. You know what I'm saying? It's a brand new video game gets released, and it is VR. I think they're in the 20. I think it's like the year
2022.
Yeah, it's way into the future, their version of the future, and you can take this VR headset, put it on, and then you in the game. I mean, you just sit there, and your whole mind, body, the whole thing is moved over to the game, and everything's all good. So he was a beta tester for the game, so he knows the ins and outs. And they get into the game, everything's cool until an announcement comes on, and they tell him basically, you're trapped in the game. There's no way out, and the only way out is to defeat all the bosses. And nobody really believes it at first. I mean, it's shock. I think the first clue that should have tuned everybody in is all the people whose characters were dressed as somebody else, men as women, women as men. You're anything other than yourself. When the announcement is made, then they go back to their actual appearance, how they actually look in real life. So that should have been clue number one, things is getting real. But right after the announcement is made, the people are trying to log out. Everybody's trying to log out, and they find out they can't log out. The other part is that if you manage to other people are killing themselves. So if you kill yourself, you die in the real world. And so nobody really believes that. I mean, people take it serious than others, some don't. But you're basically stuck with, this whole environment where you got little kids, men, women, old people, all kinds of folks all over the place who are stuck in this game and trying to figure out how to move forward. Um, as far as like how to get out of this, basically this simulation that they're stuck in. And like I said, the main character is Kirito. He was, I mean, and still is. I mean, he was a beta tester, so he had a lot of edge on a lot of players. He knew a lot of stuff, and so they resented him because he was a beta tester. They called him a beater, which is two things at once. Shout out Travis Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? He's a beta tester, and cheater. That's why you get a beater. You know what I'm saying? So nobody likes him. Nobody likes beaters. They get a bad name and, everything like that. But in all reality, Kirito is just trying to help everybody. He's never looked down on anybody, and he is a solo player. He doesn't belong to any guilds or any organizations or anything like that. He's a solo player. He develops friends, obviously, along the way, and so I'm gonna stop it there with the introduction, just in case you haven't seen it. So I'm gonna talk to my co-host real quick about it. So let me ask you. I'm gonna go ahead and hit our guest speaker of the professor. Our guest speaker today. So, Professor, what did you like about Sword Art Online, and what didn't you like about Sword Art Online?
Man, what I liked about it, it's probably my favorite anime series of all time. It combined one of my two favorite things, RPGs and anime. And I was just kind of blown away by the story. I think it's called Netgear. You put this VR on and then you were in this, immersed in this world. I think Log Horizon may came out before it. I don't remember which one came out first, like one of the first animes that a character got to submerge himself into a fantasy world. They had the real world, they had the fantasy world, and then was it Kayaba, I guess the villain, he trapped everybody in the video game. So it was life or death. And they had to live, a real life in a video game. And the only way out was to beat the game, which nobody had done. I think the beta testers, they only got to, a low level. They hadn't even gotten near I think it was 99 to 100 floors they had to go through. And so you go to this story of these people trying to beat this game. Of course, Kirito, solo player, him interacting with other characters. Asuna was one of his friends, then became a love interest. So they told a really interesting story of, fighting for survival, friendship, being a loner. He went through, meeting some lower level players, hiding his true identity. Then that ended kind of in tragedy, how that affected him. So you got this whole story arc of him. Got a love story between him and Asuna. You got him, Kayab in the background, just kind of his thoughts of this genius that he looked up to. Him kind of betraying all of these players and putting their lives on the line. And so it was just a tremendous story. I probably watched the whole series, 6+ times. Not the whole, the original arc. 6+ times. I watch at least once a year. I enjoy the story that much, and I never get tired of it. And so it's probably my favorite anime series of all time. I really don't have any dislikes of the original art. I liked everything about it. So no real dislikes. Liked all of the characters, how they put everybody together. You had some people not taking things seriously as they should. You had people committing suicide. You had people committing suicide in the game by just fighting enemies that they had no business fighting. Kind of committing suicide, not taking it, as seriously as they should have. And so, just had a combination of just great storytelling, things that I had never seen in the anime before. Now a lot of things get done over and over and over again. It was kind of one of the originals as far as going into a video game world, real world, video game world, and trying to get back to the real world. And so, it's just a great anime. I think it's a great watch. Definitely, recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it. They have different other arcs. I guess we can talk about the other arcs. I think one I did not like is the Gun Gale arc. Never finished it. I've watched it, tried to watch it several times. I just never got into it and never finished that arc. I think I've heard it's good, but I got to go back and watch that one. That's the only one I didn't like. I just didn't get into the full story. It kind of went too far away from the original two. The original arc. Then they went to the the fairy arc. I think the
I'm
third arc
flying
kind of,
online.
yeah,
Flying online.
yeah,
Yeah.
online. The Gun Gale arc kind of went too far away of what I liked about the other two, and I think that's kind of what turned me off to it. Not that it was it was a bad story. I think they just went too far from what I enjoyed from the first two arcs, and so I didn't get into it. And so I'm going to go back and try and force myself to complete it. Again, I've heard it's good. I believe that it's good. Again, went too far away from the first two arcs. Now the fourth arc, amazing. Kind of went back to what the first two were. The real love story between him and Asuna, the story between him and the other characters, and him kind of being stuck in the game at that point. He's a legend at this point. As far as these video games, being a tester, it's a great series. 3 out of 4 arcs for me. Great series. Can't wait for the next arc to come out. That's all I got.
I got the same question for you, Mr. Conspiracy. What did you like? What didn't you like about the series?
Man, Sword Art Online for me is number one until Solo Leveling is finished. When it comes to anime, storytelling is phenomenal. I am a rare breed when it comes to Sword Art Online because I've seen every single episode from all arcs, every single last one. And for me, I've seen every arc more than once. So for the Bullet arc, it's in English it's called Phantom Bullet. It's the Phantom Bullet arc. I actually like it. I understand why a lot of people don't like it. Like the professor, I get that because it goes away from the fairy dance arc, and the Arcrad arc, which is the first arc. It goes away from those two, which is what makes Sword Art Online very special. And I know why people don't like it. And it's because of that, because it doesn't give it that feel. The Phantom Bullet arc is more, I want to say it's more raw, it's more dark, and because it's a murder mystery, but it's in a more of a Halo type of setup, modern, little mixed with like modern warfare type of setup when it comes to the game. When you go into a virtual game, so it's a murder mystery, and for me, it's the griminess of it I enjoy because instead of just weapons, swords, spears, bows, things like that, like they are using guns. To be honest with you, they show really good ability when it comes to this all out battle, and it's a one versus all, scenario, winner take all, and I love that. And then you have this guy using a pistol and a sword, that this Jedi sword that everyone says you should never use, that is trash, but and he's the only one that can use it, and in his hands it's probably the greatest weapon in the game, but only in his hands, mixed with this pistol. It reminds me, he reminds me of Dante from Devil May Cry, with how he uses it. Just for me, I like just the grit and grind. Like he kind of gets away from that kiddish high school type of mentality. I understand he just went through a kill game, honestly, with Sword Art Online, but for this, it's a little bit different because he can go and come as he pleases out the game, but it's still life or death because people are coming up dead in the game and in real life, and no one knows why, right? So it's a different type of suspense there for me. But just to move past that, I love Sword Art Online. For me, my favorite art, I'm gonna have to go with it's the last one. It is called Sword Art Online. I think it's Alicization.
Yeah, Alicization.
Yeah, that is my favorite arc, and it's the last arc before the movie. If people do not know, that arc is phenomenal. You're talking storytelling, battle, and artwork. All of what we wanted from the get go, they put it all in the last arc for me, and I watched it multiple times. So
nothing. You ain't got nothing negative about the series, then. Nothing negative.
If there's one negative thing, it's like, man, just let that dude accept his harem, man. Dang, I should have stopped being greedy. Let that man just accept his harem. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my only complaint.
Wow. Okay, to our female followers, all 10 of y'all, hey, don't run. All right. Don't run. Listen, you know what? Listen, I like it. Listen, I'm going to nitpick at one thing, and this one thing I'm going to nitpick, it relates to a lot of manga. I don't know what it is about manga, Japanese manga specifically, where cousins and brothers and sisters are falling in love with each
It's
other.
weird. It's
It
weird.
is the weirdest
It's just weird.
thing, and I'm not specifically yelling at Sword Art Online because it's across all. It's a lot of Japanese manga that's like that, and I don't understand why you gotta fall in love with your cousin or your like incest must not be a thing over there. I don't know, but a lot of these love stories, and I'd be like, this is so weird to me. Like I don't know. Maybe somebody can explain it to me, but that I don't really like that. That's probably the thing I'll nitpick at with this one. But the rest of the story, like I say, is great. Now I got to get into some of the interesting parts. Professor, what is your favorite fight?
First arc between him and Kayaba is
Okay.
is my favorite fight. Just because that's my favorite arc. Is the first arc, and that battle between them two, all on the line. Yeah, that was my favorite fight. Just because of what it meant. There were bigger fights, more massive fights throughout the other series. The last series you get actually armies fighting each other, and you got a lot of action, a lot of fighting. But I think for me, the best one was the first one. My favorite arc, all on the line, life or death, trying to save everybody. He's, a hero, quote unquote, a hero trying to save everybody, everything on the line. The way they set it up, because they didn't actually need to get to the top floor. Kayaba gave him a way out and said, okay, if you beat me, game's over. And so they're like, all right, instead of climbing, you keep climbing or you can fight me. He's like, all right, people dying, we've been going through this too long. People's bodies don't know how, if everybody's gonna make it, let's end it. And so to me, that's my favorite fight.
Okay. Conspiracy. What's your favorite? What's your favorite battle? I know there's a lot to pick from, so don't hate a brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to ask the question.
All right, man, that dude over there make it hard, man. Mr. Cleans, we're gonna start calling him, man, with that edge up. Because I love most fights in the first arc. I do, just because of like the music. It is perfect. The intensity, the artwork on how they do it. So it's hard for me to go against almost any of Kiriko's fights, right? Kirito's fights in the first arc. But I gotta say this though. I think the fight that him and Hallis had in the last arc against Quinella, when first it was them two, they fought first together. Alice went down. Kirito was like, nah, we're not dying like this. And then he went up against Quinella by himself. That right there. And he made that opening for Alice and was like, you end it, bro. The artwork, I mean, the music, like he put basically everything he had learned in every other arc thus far into play with that last battle. Everything he learned, he put it into that battle right there. And you saw it all come to fruition, man. That is my favorite fight.
I have to go with listen. Oh my god, this always torments me because there's two fights that I just like. Blue Eyes is the first one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Out of the first arc, Blue Eyes, because of what the battle meant. With Asuna on the line and everything like that, and he has to reveal that he's got the dual wielding. And when he first Blue Eyes back, and he was like, and he's like, Starburst Stream, and he's like, I gotta go faster. He go faster. He getting hit. He don't care. He like my baby mama gonna die if I don't wrap this up. And he almost died in the process of fighting. Like Blue Eyes was like, oh. I said it can only get better than that, because if that was the midway point of taking me in there, like that fight was incredible. And then one more fight I gotta give it to, second arc when he fights the other general.
Oh, the general, the
red general, and that dude's got that phasing sword and he getting hit and all this other stuff. But when he takes his cousin's blade. He pulls her blade and he go in and he start cutting that dude up, and then no matter what they could do, he put them blades inside and he was going ham on that dude, blew him away. I was like, yo, it's so many cool things like that you see in there. Like, I mean, hands down. Like, there's so many good fight scenes. I mean, like, I could name a whole bunch. I think one of the coolest little details is this one is in the this is kind of the arc where Asuna is dealing with the lady who's got cancer.
Oh
And,
yeah,
and she's
under the
playing with
tree.
that one. Yeah. And my favorite part of that is when Asuna and them are trying to get in there to go fight the battle, and then Kirito comes, him and I think Klein show up, and Kirito is cutting magic with his dual wielding sword that nobody can do, because from the Gun Gale arc, he's like, your magic isn't faster than a bullet. So the dude, he gets left there, and she's like, that's my baby right there. And he's like, he puts his hand up, he's going ham. Like, I don't even know if they kill him or not or whatever, but the dude he hard. I mean, it no doubt, like I say, so many good things I can say about Sword Art Online. I mean, like you say, writing's good, the artwork is good, and I'll be the first to say this: I never read the manga of Sword Art Online. I just saw the anime, and the anime was so good. I didn't feel a need to actually read the manga, which is usually a first for me, because a lot of times I'll watch an anime and be like, let me go find the manga and see. I didn't do that with Sword Art Online. It was actually that good. So, I mean, to everybody's point, I enjoyed it. I mean, this was a great series. And if you're a beginner, you're looking for something for you to get into, this is actually a pretty good one. I mean, I would say there's some parts, if you wanted to show your kids this, they would probably be able to watch it and have fun. You have to minus out some of that weird stuff. You might want to go ahead some episodes, because they do, like I said, it can get a little weird sometimes. But overall, great story, great anime to get into if you've never seen anything. And I don't know what else to say about it, brother.
I do.
What you got?
I just realized something. Now it's more of a spin-off because they really don't touch on it. Please, people, skip that whole gunslinger, and you will know what I'm talking about, because the story is wrapped around some little girl in some pink bunny soldier outfit. She's just really, really fast, and she like 3 foot, 2 inches tall. Please skip that. Don't get me wrong. She go hard. She does. I seen it. She go hard, but the story sucks.
Well,
story sucks.
Sometimes you can't do spinoffs, man. Sometimes you can't spin off and just stick with the main thing.
Skip the spinoff. So yeah, I had to throw that out there, DLC. Please skip the spinoff.
Got you. So let me ask you this, and I think I'm going to ask each of you the same question. So as far as with your answers, so who is your favorite character? Sam, I think that's a fair question. Who's your favorite character? Professor, Conspiracy? Either one of y'all can jump with it.
First, I'll let you roll.
That's easy. Kirito. It's my favorite character. It's just kind of, my bias, is the hero. He's the hero. He's the guy. He takes on full responsibility. I think that they did the character well as far as arc. You get some, anime, he's the heroes, he's a jerk, or, my pet peeve, he's a wimp. He's kind of a wimp, kind of lackadaisical, kind of scared, kind of forced into it. But he was a guy who not initially took on the full responsibility, but he didn't run away from it. He just kind of let it come to him. He was a beta tester. He was a professional player. He took it seriously. He was trying to, do his thing. And then when he was called upon, when he knew he had the talent, he stepped up to the plate to save everybody. So to me, it's Kirito. You get throughout all the arcs. He's pretty much the main character. You got a lot of good supporting characters that kind of make him who he is. He doesn't become who he is without Asuna, without Clown, without the supporting characters. And they do a great job of telling the story and kind of interweaving everything. His sister, to make him, who he is. So he's not who he is without them. But to me, my favorite character, without doubt, the hero, the main guy, Kirito.
All right.
Conspiracy?
For me, our fans know this. I normally don't do this, but this is one of the very few anime, even manga manhwas, that I'm going with the main character easily. Kirito is that dude. Professor hit it right on the head. For me, all of my pet peeves, he don't meet any of those for me to hate him. He's not an idiot. He actually, learns. He's actually motivated. He takes things seriously when it's, necessary, and he understands what's important at the end. He actually thinks things through, and he does fall, or I should say he stumbles, but he always gets back up. He always finds his footing, and he takes it to the next level. That's what really makes me like his character, because he goes above and beyond. It's like going, plus ultra. He does that, period. And I mean, I think it's every arc he does that. That dude goes plus ultra, and I love him.
Okay. I'm going to take a slightly different path. And I think Kirito's a monster. You know, said, oh, I mean, I think the dude is hard, but I'm gonna tell you, I know the person who pushed him to his greatness. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta put this out here. You know what I'm saying? It's my boy Yu-Gi-Oh from Alicization Arc. His other friend.
Oh yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh,
yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Woo! But I'm gonna tell you, because they go through that, with that VR they're in, and time is so compressed, he goes through a lot more with him. But
Correct.
I don't want to give it away. But when something happens to my man over there, your boy Kirito, it mess him up. It mess him up real bad, because that's his boy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They're brothers, basically. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
life or death. You know what I mean? And I think it came to Asuna, if something would have happened to her, but when it came to Yu-Gi-Oh, like, this was one of them times where you, like, in your character development, your main character, usually some tragedy has to happen. And this like brought, like, I mean, like that last arc, and that's the brotherhood that they have is just insane. And what they go through, the fighting with Alice and everything, and then you get to the end, and it's like, oh, like I said, I don't want to get that in the way. It's just stuff don't go the way it's supposed to. Your boy Kirito, he has to go ultra instinct. He has to go to the next level, because there's no other choice. Like, his boy does everything to get him. He puts him in a position to win, like, no matter what. Out of all the other characters, I'm not taking anything away from them, but I believe Yu-Gi-Oh is the one who other than Asuna, has the greatest impact on his life. You know what I'm saying? Because of the time frame. So I will definitely say that. So yeah, man. Like I say, great storytelling, great artwork, great, like, shout out to the author of Sword Art Online, Reike Kawahara. Is the author. Man, you do great work, brother. I hope you continue working on Sword Art, and if you're doing any other pieces, hey, listen, we'd love to have you on the show, man. We'd love to interview you. Throwing that out there to you right now, man. It's phenomenal work. But with that being said, I think we have to get ready to get into the last part of the show, which is about to be a crazy fight coming up. You already know.
And now, this world shall know pain.
Deadpool with the uniform.
It's time for Anime Fisticuffs! DLC, who do we have lined up for today?
As my boy Ric Flair was saying. All right. So this is actually an interesting one. I have, for the fisticuffs today, I've got Tatsuya Shiba from Irregular and Magic School versus Hajime Nagumo from Afruto Commonplace to World's Strongest. Now, Professor, you got the coin toss on who gets what character, and we will take it from there. So, Professor, coin toss. Tell me who's got what character.
So it's heads or tails. Who want to shout it out?
I'm gonna shout out tails.
It's heads. Miss Conspiracy gets to pick. Who you want?
Nah, man, but you supposed to tell us who we getting.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm not sure how familiar each of you are with each character.
It don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter.
All right. So, Mr. Conspiracy, you got Let's see. You got Tatsuya.
I'll make it easy. Okay,
Yeah, you got Tatsuya.
Okay, all right.
DOC, you got Hajime.
Ooh, okay. All right. Professor, since you called the pick, who's going first? Since you called
Miss
this.
Conspiracy going first.
I'm going first.
Come
Okay.
out swinging.
Hey, listen, let me go ahead and put my symbol up real quick before you stop.
Oh, it's like that. Yeah, we ain't pulling no punches, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. We ain't gonna do multiple rounds then. My boy Tatsuya. That guy from Irregular Magic High School. He is a phenomenal character, and for me, what I think will actually help me win this, because he has a lot of different abilities. He's been taught since I want to say he was 6 years old, hand-to-hand combat, and he's one of the best martial artists of his world, if not the. He is a high-level assassin, and you talk about intellect, man, phenomenal intellect. But what really will give me the edge when it comes to Hajime is Hajime's true abilities when it comes to his engineering magic. And for me, I would really think that with his abilities, I would say his specialized, like I said, like he specializes in the combat and assassination. But I really want to say it's the specialized magic that he was born with. I'm trying to think of it. Decomposition is one of the main ones. So I'm not really worried about flash cast. Yeah, you know what? Decomposition and flash cast. This basically allows Tatsuya to actually rewrite activation spells or rewrite spells and deactivate them very, very quickly and just basically make them mute. And so for me, that would be really, really important when it becomes fighting against Hajime with his abilities, with what he can do, especially when it comes to because for him, he uses his magic to summon all of those special weapons, for instance, right? Well, for me able to actually use decomposition and to actually use flashcast, I can actually nullify him from actually taking out any of those weapons that he does not already have out before the fight actually starts. That right there would truly give me an edge from that aspect. I don't want to say too much more from what I can do with decomposition alone, because basically with my decomposition, I can also with my two. I want to say they're called the Silver Twins, which is his specialized pistol. Silver Horns.
Yeah,
which is specialized pistols. Can actually decompose um, any organism or inept object. Basically means that I can destroy any type of matter, whether it's alive, not alive. I can destroy any type of matter, and I don't think Hajime has any type of force field because his shield won't be able to do anything because I'll be able to do the same thing to the shield, and I think that after that it would be a done deal. Just me using decomposition. So I take my stance at that. Since you want to bring out the big guns automatically, we don't just gonna go there. Yeah.
Well, there's something you forgot about there. You know what I'm saying? You coming out with the big guns. You got to remember something about Hajime, my dude. You might have a lot of things going for Tatsuya, but let's talk about some things that you don't have. First of all, let's get down to strength. Strength and speed. Let's just start with strength and speed. Okay? So, with that being said, I got a limit breaker put on me. Okay? Now, Tatsuya, you a tactician. You can do a lot of things. Hajime wasn't trained at birth. Hajime was trained and forged on the battlefield of fighting demonic creatures and stuff like that. Everything we had to fight monsters and humans. This is where your boy Tatsuya. That's great when you fighting. You only fight against humans with magic. You know what I'm saying? My dude, he fight against everybody. You're not special. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Conspiracy? Taxi ain't special on the level of Hajime. So let's get something straight. Because for one thing, I'm gonna just go down the straight categories. A in strength, I'll break your arms and your legs. I don't care if you got flash cast or not. Flash cast works if you're conscious enough to pull it off. Okay? You might, you know what I'm saying? You're not stronger than Hajime. Period, point blank. Plus, I got a limit breaker on there as well. So even my blows that you get, not to mention, I've been eating all the demonic beasts and everything. My strength alone, right? Just in strength alone, my hits will break you, even if you're using your own magic to soften the blow. He's that much stronger than you. Now, speed, my top speed, he's 12 times faster than most characters. Okay, so you're not gonna win in the speed department either. You know what I'm saying? Now you might say, okay, well I'm gonna go to hand-to-hand combat. Okay, go to hand-to-hand combat because Hajime's durability is a lot higher than yours is too. You know what I'm saying? So I will say that as well. Now my durability is higher because I can take more hits than you. Now I'm taking into account your flash cast again, saying you're conscious enough to pull it off. Tatsuya can be hurt. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you remember when he got shot, it was unexpected. Okay. And you got to remember the way Hajime fight. For one thing, my little ring thingy mabobber with that mythical age magic that I have. Okay. With that alone, right? So we can do the gun battles. You know, we both don't shoot. I think yours is shooting more like magic scions and stuff like that, where mine is actually shooting actual like bullets that are made from the strongest steel that was in the orc and that labyrinth I was in. Okay, now you were talking about your dismantling spell, right? What would you call it?
Decomposition.
Your decomposition spell, you know what I'm saying? You're saying you can break it down, but see, I'm going to question that is that you can break down most things in your world, okay? And I'm not saying that.
We go there.
Hold on. You can break down most things in your world, but nothing says that that's 100% your magic is going to affect the magic that I have from my world. Now we can't 100%. Hold on. Hey, what? Did somebody hurt you? Did somebody hurt you? You feel threatened? Are you feeling hurt already? Hey, listen.
Go ahead, man.
Hey, listen. I didn't interrupt you. I ain't interrupt you. And I ain't interrupt you.
Asterisks on stuff, man. I'm listening. Go ahead, man.
You ordered the bathrobe, all right? You ordered the bathrobe. Why don't you let, you know what I'm saying? You conspiracy theorist, so why don't you let me go ahead and talk? Anyway, see, audience, this is what you got to deal with these rental workers. Hostile. Where HR at? Get rid of this dude. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Now, anyway, so you can destroy matter. Let me magic matter. Let me get all of it. You can okay. That's fine. But you got to get close enough to be able to use your magic. Okay? It ain't just something your decomposition, listen to me. As fast as he is, as fast as Hajime is, that's why I'm putting it out there. Your magic is only effective if it hits his target. Okay? You got to hit something for it to destroy matter. I don't think you can hit Hajime because he's that much stronger and that much faster. Okay? And even if you use your third eye, which is your sixth sense, okay, to even with attacks, because of the durability of Hajime, dude, I don't think you stand a chance in the world. Okay, they're both genius inventors. Okay, that's the reason why I like this matchup. They both can create stuff. They can both invent magic and all kinds. They're both craftsmen. They're both master tacticians. They got a lot of things. But here's the thing though. Your regular stats aren't better than mine. So you're on a hope and a prayer that your decomp spell is gonna hit him. I don't think you can hit him. I'm stronger and faster than you are. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and let you rebuttal because you seem like you had a lot to say because you wouldn't let me finish. But this is how gentlemen act on the call.
I need you. I know you be talking.
This is how gentlemen finish. They let the other person talk. That's what the grown-ups do. So let me go, Mr. Conspiracy. Go ahead. You got the floor.
I got the floor now.
I don't want to interrupt you.
Okay. So, fact of the matter is this, all right? So, he has something called a material burst, which is what is known as the ultimate decomposition magic, which he does not have to use his pistol to use, because if he was actually going to be coming in this fight, he would actually use one of his actual battle suits. That allows him to not actually need a weapon. He can use the suit as the actual catalyst for launching this technique, which is he can just use his fingers to actually do it. So that's number one when it comes to that. Now, with the martial burst, it has the power to actually be, I think it's 5 times more powerful than a nuclear explosion. Okay, so it covers like a wide range as well. So, okay, understand that Hajime is 12 times faster than a regular human. I get that. Is he going to be fast enough to outrun that type of massive scale explosion? I don't know. I've seen that dude hurt too, like really bad, almost on the, brink of death before his girl, actually healed him. So I've seen him hurt pretty badly as well. Now, on another note, if he uses mist dispersion, that right there is what truly will get Hajime, because now you're not talking about him breaking, him down from a magical, particle matter. You're talking about breaking him down from a physical matter of bone, right? You're talking muscles. All that is what the mist disbursement actually does, and that's one of his abilities right there. So now you're taking the actual magical particles out of the equation. Now we just getting right down to the nitty gritty, baby, the meat and bones. So that's what's happening right there. So one thing, dude, Hajime is not the Flash. He ain't even the Flash in his own show. All right, he's been hit multiple times. That dude ain't the Flash. And then another thing, my boy Tazio does not use regular bullets. Okay, you can't even see his bullets. And you talking about from a distance. That dude is a master marksman. Professor, I gotta bring you into this, man. Did you see all of irregular at school? Did you see it all? Did you see it all?
Hold on. Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
What in the world?
Flag on the play. First of all, this man is a neutral ground, so you can't bring him into this conversation.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
DOC, you remember?
I answered the question, but not. I have seen the regular magic school. Yes.
Well, thank you. That's as good as your question gonna be. Moving on.
DOC, you remember when that dude's sister, was targeted by the Dragon Criminal Association, and he was like, okay, he locked them dude inside their own tower. He was on like 3, roof skyscrapers away, and with his pistol, he killed everybody in that room using what? What did he use? He used both decomposition and he used that mist disbursement. Okay, he used both of them. Guess what? There was no bullet shot. They just went disappear. That's what they went. Nope. I'm not talking about his sniper rifle. Don't even go there. I'm not talking about the sniper rifle where you actually see a bullet put in. That's not what I'm talking about. I said the pistol. You heard what I said. I said the pistol, and they went disappear. That's what happened, sir. Okay, and you know this. So, no. I don't want to hear nothing from you. Granted, Hajime, yes, his strength would absolutely put my boy down. But here's the kicker, though. Here's the kicker, man. With his restore that happens in an instant, with his restore, killing him would be very difficult for Hajime, because for him to actually do it, he has to get up close and personal for him to actually cause any fatal damage to him. And it would be really hard for him to be able to actually kill Tatsuya because of his restore. It'd be really, really hard just from that aspect. And we've seen that multiple times in that 3-on-3 battle, right? Against I forgot the like the Emperor Prince, what they call like the nickname. I forgot about that freshman
from the Stars. You talking about the chick from Stars?
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah. Okay. The American. Yeah.
He came back immediately. That's when he snapped his fingers and he disabled him. immediately. Snap his fingers and disable immediately. Well, with Hajime's height sensors, he can do the exact same thing. Just that and just disable him. Bam, baby, shoot him with this composition, and it's over. It's over. Professor, it's over.
All right, now that we didn't got off the crazy train, let me go ahead and debunk a lot of this nonsense you just put out there. Okay, you want to talk about a nuclear explosion? Hey, sucker, if a nuclear explosion go off, they both gonna die. So that's an irrelevant conversation. You're not gonna shoot a nuke off near in the fight where they both ain't gonna die. So let's go ahead and throw that all out the equation. Nobody cares that you can blow up ships 3,200 miles away or whatever, right? Because we're in a versus battle. So you think you're gonna shoot? You think you're gonna shoot something off that's a nuclear level attack spell?
His battle suit is for that. That's why. That's why he has the battle suit, because it can withstand it.
They say hit dogs holler, boy. Boy, you've been screaming for a minute. Good God. You know what I'm saying? Hey, anyway, now, let's go ahead and jump to this. Now, you think you special. You say it'd be hard for me to kill you. No, it wouldn't. No, it would not. Okay, literally, I got a ring. You got a ring. I can shoot a boom from space and drop you in close range. Okay? In close range. How many monsters did I kill since you got to ask the? Let me ask the professor. Did you see me? Have you seen my character show? Oh, okay. Thank you for your input, Professor. See how that worked out? Anyway, dude killed 100,000 monsters with basically a satellite beam coming down. So you don't think, again, plot has kept Tatsuya alive. Because that sniper in the first arc was anything, he'd been dead if he'd hit him in the head. So let's get something straight. You're not immortal. You're not unkillable. And I can do the damage up close and personal to you. Now, you keep talking about a suit. Now, you aren't talking about the amount of mana, okay? I got more magical power than you do, too. All right? Hands down, because my boy got demonics. He been eating demons and all kinds of stuff. So my strength and my mana and my senses are that much further ahead. And no, I never said he was Flash. I just said he was 12 times faster. Flash can move faster than the speed of light. I never said my character was the Flash. I just said he was 12 times faster than a normal human being. In your case, that means that I can whoop your butt, excuse my language, faster than you can react. So who cares if you got all that little special flash cast? Flash cast only working if you ain't getting punched in the face multiple amounts of time. You think you're going to be healing yourself? You think my character going to give you that? And since you brought up, oh, look, I got my gun and it shoots the decom. You forgot that I got an eye patch. I got a red crystal that can see mana. It can see all kinds of stuff beyond the normal wavelength. So you're not just going to be shooting bullets and he's going to be sitting there not being able to see it. Okay? Again, this is why I think that you're a conspiracy theorist, because you actually believe you actually stood a chance in this fight. But that's okay, though, because here's the thing, conspiracy. I'll let the audience decide, because I can tell you right now, you blew a bunch of hype. You sold a bunch of tickets to a show you can't even attend, my brother. But that's okay, though. I'm going to leave it at that, because I don't think you got enough to whoop my character. Now, we can let the audience decide. I know it's up to the professor and the audience to take it from there. But hey, man, you just selling wolf tickets, bro. Ain't nobody. You doing this?
I want to say one thing, because I curated the show, so there's no need for me to attend. I'm making all the money. So here's the reality, man. The reality is, because you bring up the eye, but you bring up the ring, and you bring a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo that everyone's gonna be like, oh, none of that even matters, because of the facts of his flash cast. Literally, all of those elements that you talked about, he literally has to use a magic circle. He actually has to conjure up a magic circle to use any of those things, which Flashcast does what? It dispels all of that. So, no, there's no laser coming down from the sky. Dispel. No, whatever he's going to do with his eye, he's automatically going to make that mute. Okay, it's just going to be a little glass, stupid red eye that's just going to be for fashion at that point. His ring, no, he ain't bringing out no other weapons. Bro, unless he putting up them hands, which is the only argument that you have, literally, the only argument you have is them hands. I don't want to hear about no monsters, okay? I don't want to hear it happen. about him fighting lions, hydras, and bears, and old mons with other monsters. None of that matters. Tachi is not a monster. That's why he gonna get them things. That's why Hajime ain't gonna win, because Tachi is not a monster. That dude is the man that puts down everything else. Okay, so from that aspect, I'm done. It's over. Fans, okay, I need everyone in the comment section. I need y'all to go ahead and put a 1 for your boy, which means I'll love him, for the man right here. Thank you.
Hey, man, listen. If you want to go with Shannon Sharp's burner account over here, you know what I'm saying, with his bathrobe on, the only thing missing is what you need, a black and mild and some cognac. You don't listen to nobody in no bathrobe trying to tell you some good point. This dude is garbage. He ain't winning this fight. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
You know what you heard? You know all I heard, Professor? That's a W. That's a W right there, baby. That's a W. We win.
Don't be James Winston. He went, okay, you stealing crab legs. You ain't stealing this victory, though. You know what I'm saying? So you can put a 2 down in the comment telling me that this crazy dude is on this show because we need clicks. And he's nuts. So, hey, if you feel sorry for your boy, throw some ones in there for him. But if not, and you want to be with a real person, DLC is close to doctor. Conspiracy is close to crazy. Which one you gonna believe? Anyway,
so man, you trying to drag me down, man. You trying to, you know what I'm saying, drag me down, talk bad about me, you know, but like LeBron fans do against Michael Jordan. I mean, hey, this is legacy, this is greatness, and then you gotta call me names, talk bad about my bathrobe because you want one and can't afford one. It's cool, man. I get that. You know, put one in the chat for your boy. Professor, we're going to lead us up to you, man.
Hit dogs. That's all I got.
Man, I can't pick a winner. I'm going to leave it up to the audience in the comment section to decide who wins. I think it was a fantastic battle. Tatsuya, Irregular Magic School, that was my favorite anime series until Sword Art Online came out. So I love that series. I watched at least 10 times. That was one of the ones I watch once a year. Fantastic character. Mr. Conspiracy, you did a great job as far as bringing out, his abilities, what he could stand up against Hajime. DLC Hajime, fantastic character. Love that series as well. You had a lot of good points. You know, really hard for me to be unbiased and pick a winner. So I'm gonna leave it up to the audience in the comment section to decide who wins this round.
All right. Then we did our jobs there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Then we did our jobs. If you can't pick an outright winner, then we did our jobs. You know what I'm saying? You know, shouts out to my boy in the bathrobe, you know, hey, hit dogs holler. So, you know, we do our thing. So, hey, let me know if you want that Mr. Conspiracy merch. You know what I'm saying? We got 10 full hats for sale. You know what I'm saying? If you want some of that conspiracy merch, go ahead and put a 3 in the chat. Let us know. We can get you your own 10 full hat from Mr. Conspiracy. He will wrap it up himself for your head, the circumference of your head. So let him know.
Hey man, I sell. That's all I know. You want one of these right here? I got you.
Well, I think it's about time for us to go ahead and start rolling ourselves up out of here, man. Listen, if you got some suggestions on some fisticuffs you want to see, some good battles, you got some anime you want us to review, some manga, manhwa, any of that, let us know. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment, keep it coming. This is the Midwest Anime Show, baby. We're doing it big. Peace to the Middle East. I'm going to throw something from the 90s out there. Peace to the Middle East.
Okay, yeah, stop that.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happening there, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week, you know, we'll bring some more hot stuff to you. I think that Pooh Bear gonna be back next week. You know, we'll see. Man, you know, he pours in like in the woods or something. I don't know what he's doing tonight, but you know.
I'm still a Vista, baby. Nope, that ain't working.
Bam, baby. Mr. Conspiracy. We out.